Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching, welcome back to the Bocce Piles channel, where we play Temur decks in the Legacy format. So today we're going to be running out some Rhinos. Alright, so a Rhinos list did just top 8 at Eternal Weekend, and I believe it got second. And so you might be saying, well, why aren't you just going to copy their list? Well, there's several things about this list that drive me crazy. I mean, I definitely like Hullbreacher over Mystical Dispute. This guy is running 4. I mean, in a paper tournament, I guess he's expecting to play against a lot of blue decks. And I guess Hullbreacher's also good against blue decks. I don't know. I've just played with a lot of Hullbreacher. I would definitely want more bombs in the deck. And then this fellow is playing 4 Wastelands. And so that's a bit of technology that I haven't really tried. So, well, I'm playing 2 Wastelands and then 2 Blood Moons in the sideboard. I don't really think setting ourselves back on mana is that great. We want to be getting to 3 and 4 mana to play Minsc and Boo. And, these Cascaders. Or maybe Lorien Revealed. So setting ourselves back, I don't think helps. But I can see how this is like a spell that costs less than 3, that we, doesn't ruin our ability to cascade, and that Wastelanding Urza Saga could occasionally be good. And then, Blood Moon is just an absolute bomb out of the sideboard. And this guy is playing no Blood Moons, and like only 2 Furies, and I really like Brotherhood's End in the metagame right now. There's just a lot of like red stompy going around. Yeah. So we're gonna run this here. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay, we're on the play. This hand has Force of Will and nothing else going on. I'm gonna call it a mulligan. Well, this hand at least has a turn 1, Suspend, Crashing Footfalls, and Force. I'm gonna put back an Elvish Spirit Guide here, Suspend Crashing Rhinos. Go from there. Alright, opponent's keeping 7. Put back this Elvish Spirit Guide. Then Crashing Footfalls. Pass it back. A Windswept Heath strategy from the opponent. Alright, so maybe this is just, infect, huh? So I could try to Force a Will this. Yeah, I guess I will. Say days here, we have the Spirit Guide. But I think we need to slow our opponent down. I don't want to rely on Brazen Borrower. Alright, that happens. Okay. Force of Negation, we're short of blue mana to cast. Have the Ink Moth. And a Noble Hierarch. Well, Wasteland would be a good one. Alright, we can at least use Force of Negation to counter a pump spell now. And play around days thanks to the Elvish Spirit Guide. We have all kind of pump effects here between the Exalted on the Noble Hierarch and the Pendelhaven. So they're going to get in for 3 infect here. Alright, they're in for 3. 7 poison counters will kill you. Or I mean 10 total, 7 more if you're unfamiliar with infect. Force of Will. Alright, I can't really hard cast Elvish Spirit Guide here because we get blown up by days. Another Ink Moth. Well, that's not too big of a deal. Because of Exalted, like 1 more Ink Moth Nexus doesn't really matter, because for Exalted, your creature has to attack alone. But we are going to be dead soon. So like Fire and Ice or Brazen Borrower. Well, Brazen Borrower doesn't really do it. Fire and Ice is what we're looking for. Embiggen. Alright, here's our chance to Force of Negation. Alright, they're gonna force back. And so Embiggen gives it +1/+1 for each of its card types. And this thing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card types. So I think it's gonna be an 8/9, yeah. So that'll kill us. That gives 11 poison. Gain. So for sideboarding, we definitely have some options. Like all of these cards are potentially playable. Like Minsc and Hullbreacher can probably come out. I think Inkmoth is probably their best card. So maybe I don't need Brazen Borrower. Force of Negation. Force of Vigor just helps. Kills Inkmoth Nexus. And I guess that's pretty much it. We'll have Endurance and Blood Moon. Help deal with that problem. Fire and Ice. I mean, I could try to wing it without Force of Will here. But I probably do want Force of Will in the deck. Maybe Brotherhood's End, in addition to Fury, is just excessive. Brazen Borrower. Maybe I can make do without Minsc and Boo. Bring in Brazen Borrower. I mean, maybe Endurance. I mean, just blocking the Inkmoth. You have like 7 answers. Alright, I think I'm going to keep the Minsc and Boos and just go without Endurance. Brazen Borrower could theoretically block Moth also. Just as a 3/1 flyer. Well, this hand, we've got the Force of Will, we have the Fury, but we don't have the mana. Yeah, I think it's pretty bad. Okay, I think this is a keepable hand. We have the turn 2 Rhinos with Force backup, so you gotta be happy about that. I'll play Wasteland, pass the turn. So I think I want a Lorien Revealed for Volcanic Island. That turns on Fire and Ice. And gets us moving towards Brotherhood's End. Definitely some double red cards here I'd like to play. I could get the basic island. I think the Volcanic Island's where I want to be. Okay, Fire and Ice is a good one. So let's get in with our first cascading of the game. All right, they're cracking that Misty. Getting that Tropical Island. Going for days, it looks like. Do have a daze. Well, if they have a Flusterstorm here, it's going to be brutal. But I got to try to force through these Rhinos. Okay, Rhinos are in. Well, now that they've set themselves back a land, and they don't really play removal, I think it's impossible for them to win. Okay, suspend, that does something. That exiles it with some suspend counters. And because it's a token, it's not going to come back from exile. So that's something, but we're still attacking for 6 power here, and we have Wasteland. And Fire and Ice. Alright, they're in there with Boseiju. True Force, that's good. I could just Wasteland them here. I guess I'm okay. Not Wastelanding them keeps fire active. That might be important. Or Wastelanding their blue source could be good too. Got some on my upkeep here. A petty theft. I guess I'm going to force the petty theft. Alright, they have force of will of their own. Blood Moon. Really like to get the Blood Moon down. So I guess I'm not Wastelanding their tropical island. Alright, so they can hard cast the Brazen Borrower, but that can't block creatures without flying. So this Wooded Foothills is a great draw. We can get the basic forest. And we can always find a basic island with a Lorien Revealed. They're playing the Brazen Borrower in response to Blood Moon. That makes sense. And Blood Moon's in. That has to bode well for our chances. Brazen Borrower definitely can't keep up with a Shardless Agent. But maybe they'll have basic forest here and some pump spells or something. That could potentially let them stay in it with the Brazen Borrower. It looks like they don't. I guess I'll go ahead and get this Misty into play. Alright, they're going to attack back. Found the basic island. Alright, they're going to attack us down to 8. We are slowly but surely winning this race. Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, we'll play that. Alright, Spirit Guide's in. This is their chance to do something. Okay, we got it. Alright, I think I'm just gonna run back the same plan for game 3 here. Alright, so here we're on the draw, and we're just 1 mana source from being able to Shardless Agent, a blue mana source. We've got Furies, Fire and Ice. These all seem like the right cards for the matchup. So I'm just gonna pray to draw lands here. Okay, there's a Noble Hierarch. That's a mana source, but it's not the right color. But we are just any mana source now gets Minsc and Boo into play. That would be good. Brainstorm. What I'd really like to do is draw a blue mana source and then Shardless Agent with protection against daze. They're cracking that Windswept Heath. Found the basic forest. Here's a Blighted Agent. There's a Blood Moon. Okay. All right. I think we're pitching this Fire and Ice Fury. We don't want to use Simian Spirit Guide to play. Play fire. I don't think. I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. Like it's in. So I could play a Blood Moon into Daze here, but it seems pretty rough. Maybe it's worth doing though. I don't know. I think I want to play around Daze, I guess. Blood Moon can still be good later at shutting off an Inkmoth Nexus. like that one. Another Blighted Agent. Okay. Well, let's draw a land. Violent Outburst. Alright, so we can play Blood Moon. Fortunately, we don't have like any instant things that we can do here. Like when they attack, they pump their guys. It makes Fury less exciting. Well, I mean, I could Fury this Blighted Agent, but then they're still attacking with the Ink. I think I kind of maybe have to jam the Blood Moon here. Then pitch like Violent Outburst. Or Minsc can boot a Fury. Or I could wait a turn and see if we draw the land. I guess I'm just going in with this Blood Moon. We're just not getting there on the land, sadly. Yeah, and they predictably have a Daze. Bad news. Alright, I guess I'm gonna just pass here and hope they play another creature so we get more value off this Fury. But we just didn't draw land, and that's a bummer. That's a problem with this deck for sure. Alright, they're getting in there with the Ink Moth. Taking 2. I guess Wasteland would be a sick draw. There's an Embiggen, so that means they're getting in for 7. We're going to be dead in a hurry. Oh, we finally found the land. I guess I'm going to Fury, pitching Violent Outburst, Blighted Agent. I'm gonna like hope to draw a Wasteland or something for this Ink Moth. I guess I should have waited one more turn, but I sure bricked on the mana. Okay, so Ink Moth. Gonna get in for 2 with this Pendelhaven. So Wasteland is pretty much like the only thing that can save. I mean, the cardinal rule of Rhinos, I would say, is to play around. Wow, we drew I guess I'm just gonna do this now. The cardinal rule of Rhinos is to play around Daze, but yeah, I don't know. Those are the kinds of irritating decisions you make when you play this deck. Listener Elf. Well, come on, deck. Draw another mana. That's a mana. They could have Daze here, but we still have a blocker for the Glistener Elf, and that is what matters. Okay. Doing something. It's another Glistener Elf. Okay. Yeah, I kind of have to keep all my boys on defense, and attacking with a Shardless Agent doesn't get very far because they get to make a 2/3 Glistener Elf. I'm gonna sit back here and hope to draw one more mana and get Minsc and Boo going. That would be the easiest way to win this game. Alright, they were thinking for a second in their main phase, and now they're passing it back. Through the land. Alright, well, I'm just gonna slam Minsc and Boo into Daze. I don't think I can really afford to wait. Okay, it's in. And, see, I would think about just flinging a Boo token at a Glistener Elf. But they can just juice it with the Pendelhaven. So we're pumping it up here, but I am going to definitely fling it next turn, I think. Alright. Are we getting any attacks? What they need is like some pump spells and Berserk to sneak one through here. If they don't have that, then we're probably okay. Berserk grants trample, so it'd be easy to sneak through 1 point of poison, but it looks like they don't have the Berserk. All set on the Minsc and Boo ability. So if I attack with everything, it is 14 damage. Seems like that could go wrong pretty easily. I'm just going to attack with a Boo token and fling it at the Glistener Elf. And if they have some kind of answer to that, I mean, at least they're going to have used up like some kind of pump spell or something. Okay, we're in there. We mostly bricked, but we hit a Brazen Borrower. And so that's probably good enough. Make sure we're not dead here. All right, they're juicing up this Glistener Elf here, so they're going for it. An Invigorate, sure. Well, I cannot Petty Theft in response to this, and it has Hexproof. So I guess I'm just dead to Legolas's quick reflexes here. Okay, no, not quite. Okay, because he can't. Okay, so this can only, when it becomes tapped, it deals damage to a creature. Okay. So, jump block here. We have to do, because, you know, otherwise we die to poison. I guess if they have another pump spell, we're dead. Looks like they don't. Okay. All right, well, the good news is that they're clearly out of pump spells. So I'm just going to fling the Boo token at this Glistener Elf and draw my card. Maybe they have another. Okay, Legolas has quick reflexes, but it seems that they don't. Legolas's quick reflexes is like not my favorite card. Just the split second cards you can't interact with, but it does seems like it does juice decks like these. So maybe that's good for the metagame. All right, well, they're just passing the turn, so that seems like it bodes well. Gonna get my Lorien Revealed on here. I guess they could have Hullbreacher, but I don't think that would even really matter. Did find a Force of Will, so that's cool. All right. They don't crop rotation into Inkmoth Nexus on their end step, which would have been a way to win. I guess we had Force of Will anyway. All right, they're going to invigorate my Shardless Agent. And that's the game. Well, that was the old goal line stand at 9 poison. That was crazily close. Closer than I would have wanted. But I guess the Rhinos overcame there, so that was cool. Alright, we've got a 5-land, 2 Spirit Guide hand. That's an easy mulligan. I mean, this hand's pretty okay. We got some stuff going on. Probably just put back the Volcanic Island here. Opponent did mulligan to 5, so you gotta wonder if they're on Reanimator when that happens. It looks like they are not. Okay, land. It's not the end of the world. Well, we'll see if we're going to regret having Hullbreacher over Mystical Dispute. Well, we would not be able to Mystical Dispute this Lorien Revealed. Alright, here's a tropical island. Looks like we're just up against good old-fashioned Temur here. Okay. So I wonder if it's Temur Beanstalk. There's a list from Eternal Weekend playing some Lorien Revealeds in their Temur Beanstalk deck. But I am going to be playing around Daze here. I don't know if this is a secret Stifle build. Looks like it's not. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and slam the Shardless Agent here. Alright. Crashing Footfalls was second from the top. They are cracking that Misty, so maybe it's going to be a hard cast Force of Negation here. Mystical Dispute. Maybe this is a Rhino Mirror then. That would be the most likely explanation for the mulligan to 5 in the cards that we've seen. Alright, the opponent's going in with Simian Spirit Guide. I can respect it. We are continuing to draw lands. So do I want to fire this Simian Spirit Guide so I can attack? Kind of rather ice it. Alright, I think I'm going to make the trade. And we can Hullbreacher on their end step or hold up Force of Negation. Alright, looks like we're getting a Lorien Revealed from the opponent here. Okay. Now, this is for all the Hullbreacher doubters in the world. There's a concession. Yeah, I mean, Mystical Dispute would have been pretty good there too, to be fair, I suppose. So in the Rhino Mirror, I mean, I think that Fury is better than Hullbreacher. And then I need to cut one more card. I mean, it could be Force of Negation or Lorien Revealed, I think. I mean, I guess Fire and Ice isn't that great. Alright. Alright, I think this hand's a little weak for a Rhino Mirror. This hand, I would say, has enough going on. I think I'll just pitch the extra Violent Outburst. We have 3 Cascaders, and Violent Outburst doesn't pitch to Force of Negation. Okay, they're on the Volcanic Island and pass. We're on the Misty Rainforest pass, and now we're praying to draw a land. They're on the Misty, or the Wasteland tech. We bricked on land. Hard times. I cycle Lorien Revealed, so at least we're not going to get hit with Violent Outburst immediately. We are just 1 mana from being able to do something. They're going in with Shardless Agent. Alright, I think they revealed a bunch of cards that we would expect. I guess Mystical Dispute is better in the mirror overall, I suppose, than Hullbreacher, which we boarded out and they got to keep in. But anyway, I'm going to Force Negation pitch. Okay, they do have Force of Will. It's hard times. To draw land, I think it's not the end of the world, though, but we gotta start drawing land here. But then we can bounce a Rhino token. If it's like a basic land, that would be really good. Not, though. I guess I have to suspend this Crashing Footfalls. We're gonna be dead in a hurry here. I don't know, I guess I could have gotten a basic island there and bounced one of the Rhinos, because now we're going to 9. But I mean, I think we'd be dying in a hurry that way too. I don't know, I just need to rip a land. But we bricked every turn on the land. There's a land. Okay. See, I was just playing towards my best draws. Alright, so we're casting our own Crashing Foot. Alright, I got Force of Will. So we're dead. They can we can block their Shardless Agent and then or block a Rhino and still take 8 because the Rhinos have Trample. They did not forget to it. Alright, for game 3, I think I'm just gonna run it back here the same way. So we're going first. We do have a turn 1 hand here. Yep, so I'm gonna keep it. Opponents has mulligan to 6. Alright, here we go. So I'm gonna play the Volcanic Island. I mean, sadly, we can't suspend Crashing Footfalls this turn, but it is what it is. I'm gonna Violent Outburst right now, which plays around Force of Negation. We'll have to have Force of Will. And they have Force of Will. Okay. Spirit Guide's in. They have Wasteland over there. They're cracking right away, so maybe it's Minsc. That's going to be unfortunate. Well, they're not tapping for red, so it's not Minsc yet. Shardless Agent. So the way they tap there would indicate they probably have Mystical Dispute. So I guess I'm hoping to draw a land that this Brazen Borrower resolves. Did draw the land. Gonna petty theft their Rhino too. No attacks. Alright, so they're in there with a Crashing Footfalls. They're in there for 6. I was supposed to block the shard. Alright, well. Gonna be fetching duels here. Alright. Play Brazen Borrower. Maybe we can rip like Minsc or a Cascader here or something. I suppose if they're holding up Mystical Dispute, it's not very likely to happen. They have Force of Negation. Well, that's bad. Okay, so I can block a Shardless Agent and take 12. Alright, they got it. Okay, on the play here. Round 3. Okay. Have a nice turn 2 Rhino hand, potentially. We don't have force backup, so we're hoping to draw a blue card. I'm gonna hope they're not playing Stifle. So getting our fetchland stifled is the least of our concerns, given how effective Stifle is against Cascade. That it stifles the whole trigger. Getting those, 4 or 5 color control vibes here means I'm not concerned about days. I'm just concerned about Force of Will. And so a blue card would be really great, but we don't get there. Okay. Well, I guess I'm jamming. I don't know when it's going to get better. We'll at least have a 2-2. All right, well, the Rhinos did not get countered, so that's encouraging. They're playing Brainstorm. Okay, and they used a Scalding Tarn here, so that means they're not going to have Terminus on top of their library. That's good news for us. This Wasteland is going to be just the thing against this Tundra. Chose not to shuffle. We failed on the blue card again, but this Wasteland is an absolute beating here. They can see. So, I don't know if it's just like Jeskai control, or if it's the actual 4 or 5 color control. Alright, I think I'm gonna bring in Endurance here over the Fire and Ice. Call it good. I mean, the thing about cutting Fire and Ice is there's a chance they may have Lavinia. I mean, Brazen Borrower is not that exciting either. The Brazen Borrower does bounce Lavinia. I guess I'm just going to keep in the Fire and Ice. It always cycles. The ability Brazen Borrower to attack. But Endurance, I don't know. Maybe I should have just sideboarded nothing. Alright, well. We have some things going on here. Whoa, we're once again looking to draw blue cards. Have a Ponder. So I can do the turn 1 Violent Outburst on their upkeep. Well, let's see what the draw is. Blue card. So I can just go for it right now then. Or I could go for Minsc and Boo on turn 2. Alright. I guess I'm going to play the basic Mountain Pass. I almost would like to just play Minsc and Boo on my turn. But, I mean, just jamming out a bunch of Rhinos that they could sweep up or something is that exciting to me. I generally doing something in response. Like here's kind of a spot. Thing is if I wait, it's just easier to, we can play Minsc and Boo and try to force it through. And then we just need 1 more mana, and then we can ram through a Violent Outburst. Another force. So I think I'm just gonna try the Minsc and Boo here. Spell Pierce. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna force pitching the Force of Negation. And then they've got a force. Alright, and we're just kind of looking to draw another land here so we can play this Violent Outburst. And if this is just Teferi, though, that'll be tough to beat. It is. There's the land. But Teferi is just pretty unbeatable here. Well, I need to draw Endurance. Something to attack the Teferi with. I guess Hullbreacher would be a pretty good one. Alright, so I'm going to do some fetching to thin. Grab that forest. Grab that island. Alright, well, I can threaten the Teferi. The Spirit Guide's in. I mean, it doesn't threaten the Teferi very effectively, but it is something. Lorien Revealed. I mean, that's obviously a good one if I can get one more mana down. They'll like need to burn a removal spell on this Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, there it goes. Reset. Well, that's gonna shut off my Lorien Revealed. So I might be looking at the old scoop phase here. Let's see what I draw. They've got a Brainstorm. Shardless Agent. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna play it. We don't get the Rhinos, but it is a body that can attack a Planeswalker. We pass it back. They're using their Narset. Alright, so they have themselves a 4th Earlingus that I'm sure they're gonna be using here. The 4th Earlingus is in. They're gonna attack with all of them? Alright. Just 2 copies. They get the Monarch here. Alright, I'm ready to scoop it up. I can't play Lorien Revealed. I can't attack their Planeswalkers through their Night token, so we can call it good there. Alright, I guess that Endurance really doesn't do much in this matchup that Brazen Borrower doesn't do. I mean, it attacks for 3. Threaten Planeswalkers. I guess the Fire and Ice is pretty useless. So maybe we'll just do the Brazen Borrowers and Endurances and max out on creatures that can attack Planeswalkers. Well, the Brotherhood's End does deal damage to Planeswalkers. What is Fury, though? Fury costs 5 mana. There's like an outside shot that Fury does something good. I think we're just going to load up on the 3 power creatures. Between Hullbreacher and Brazen Borrower and Endurance, we have 8 of them. Okay, well, I like what this hand is doing well enough. We're going to be suspending Crashing Footfalls and hoping to draw a blue card here. So that we can ram through this Shardless Agent on turn. They are tapped out, at least, so they can't just Spell Pierce my my Rhinos. On blue card. Show it to me. No. Alright, well, I guess I'm jamming Minsc then. Oh yeah, and we can use the Force to protect the Minsc, so that's pretty good. Oh, Minsc is just in. Well, that seems pretty good. See, you should just jam Minsc on turn 2 and have it work, and that's the key to the matchup. Alright, if they have no Force of Wills here, I mean, we're going to force whatever happens next, and it seems like they don't have a good answer. Let's say no to this. Lorien Revealed here. Not terrible. I'm going to attack and then fling. And I guess they could have a removal spell. I guess I would just force the removal spell. Okay, so they're cracking their strand. They're going for a swords on this Minsc and Boo. I'm going to force it, pitching the Lorien Revealed. We're still playing around Spell Pierce here. Alright, so it looks like the Force of Will resolved. They can't have another sword. Okay, Surgical Extraction on Force of Will. That's fine. They need a Hydroblast for us not to get in here. That could, you know, destroy the Boo token. Okay, we drew a land. And, I mean, I think it makes sense just to jam the Shardless Agent. I guess a basic forest is fine here. We might as well not open ourselves up to some crazy non-basic land hate for no reason. And, well, I could wait and just Violent Outburst in response to whatever. Right now we can get hit by Spell Pierce. And so if they want a Teferi or something, they have to tap the island. I think I actually am just going to wait and use the Violent Outburst. Rather than just get my Rhinos, you know, Spell Pierced for no reason. Fire on the Minsc and Boo. Okay. Well, I'll go with the Endurance here. Because that can't be Spell Pierced. I'll have to tap the mana correctly, though. We're in there with Endurance. I guess I'll shuffle my opponent's graveyard in. It would make a Mystic Sanctuary worse. Okay. Attack with Endurance. And I think I'm just holding up Violent Outburst here still. If they tap this island, I'll go for the Violent Outburst. Is what I'll do. Okay. Oh, okay, a Prismatic Ending. All right, a Teferi actually would have been devastating there because it would stop my Rhinos from coming down. So that's a relief. I guess I should have just jammed Shardless Agent. But we'll go for this Violent Outburst here. Here comes the Spell Pierce. Here comes the Rhinos. Ooh, a Hullbreacher. That's a good thing to sneak in. So yeah, I'll just pass here. Yeah, here comes the Hullbreacher. Alright, they've got a Pyroblast. They need like 2 removal spells here exactly to stay in this thing. They chose to shuffle, that's a good sign. Okay. And that match was stupid close. But obviously our opponent kept a hand that did not have an answer to it. Turn 2 Minsc and Boo. So that was pretty wild. Okay. Alright, so we won the die roll. And I guess I'm going to keep this hand. Just suspend turn 1 Crashing Footfalls and have a surprise Hullbreacher at some point. I mean, it's a bummer we can't hold up the surprise Hullbreacher immediately. But if, I mean, they're not going to play Brainstorm on turn 1 anyway. But if it's some kind of crazy combo, we might regret having not held up the Hullbreacher, but I think you have to suspend the Rhinos. Delver, okay. Bobble, okay. Okay, thankfully, well, maybe we're going to get to Hullbreacher this Bobble. But they probably want to use the Bobble to set up their Delver of Secrets, which they can do by targeting themselves and seeing if it's an instant or sorcery on top, and then stacking the triggers advantageously. Alright, we'll suspend to these Rhino triggers. Draw another Hullbreacher. Okay. So I'm just gonna slam the Hullbreacher now. It's not very likely that they have some kind of answer here. And that'll punish them for this Mishra's Bobble. But they don't have any way to like Lightning Bolt my Hullbreacher here. Some Delver decks are playing that Stern Dismissal, which is 1 blue to bounce an instant or enchantment. And so, you know, that could potentially get me somehow. It looks like they don't have the Stern Dismissal. Alright, and they go ahead and concede. Alright, well, you know, Hullbreacher winning a game there. So that's cool. So against Delver, I pretty much always start by boarding out the Force of Negation and the Minsc and Boo to get the Endurances and Furies in. I mean, Blood Moon, I would say, is not out of the question against Delver. Maybe over Hullbreacher, but Hullbreacher, and they are playing Brainstorm, and it does come in out of nowhere. I think I'm just gonna run the Hullbreachers. I mean, Brotherhood's End also a consideration, but it is kind of hard to cast the double red against their Wastelands. Alright. Alright, this is like one of the more well-balanced hands of the tournament. I wish they looked like this more often. Alright, the opponent cracks Strand. It's Volcanic Island. I think we have a DRC here. It's a Delver. I'm going to play the basic forest, recycling the Lorien Revealed for an island. Here's a Brainstorm. Sadly, I don't have the Hullbreacher. Alright, they're getting in for 1. So let's cycle this Lorien Revealed. I think I want to get like a Volcanic Island or a Tropical Island. We're probably getting the red. We're going to be firing this playing fire on the Delver. But we're going to want to get to double green to cast Endurance. So I think it does have to be Tropical Island. I can always get Basic Island off this other Lorien Revealed later. Crashing Footfalls. Man, I want to get that suspended. How badly do I want to suspend this Crashing Footfalls? I mean, I could use the fire, Simian Spirit Guide to get this fire to happen. Probably just want to use Simian Spirit Guide to play Shardless Agent around Daze next turn. Or this turn. Okay, I'm just gonna get the red source here and play the fire. This Crashing Footfalls is just a wait. So let's get this mountain. And let's play fire here. Okay, so that just happens. They don't even try to daze it. So probably the next play I'm looking at making then is Endurance. I suppose they could get Murktide Regent down this turn. And, you know, maybe I should pitch Crashing Footfalls to Endurance. They're still short of it here. I don't know. They want a Murktide like right here, and if it doesn't happen, I'm in the clear. Okay, they're doing the Murktide. I guess I should have popped off the Endurance. Only a 5/5. So I guess I'm gonna Crashing Footfalls here. Wooded Foothills, huh? Okay. Okay, so we're putting Crashing Footfalls on the stack. Just in there. Okay. Oh, Seal of Removal. Well, that is a good one against the Rhinos. Another Seal of Removal. Well, those are both good against the Rhinos. Then there's the Wasteland. They get in for 5. So, I mean, Brazen Borrower would be a great one. Or Ice. Alright, I'm gonna suspend Crashing Footfalls. Play out this here land. And get in for 2. Unless they deign not to bounce my Rhino tokens, that would be pretty surprising. I do just have 1 card in hand. So if I could just draw like anything to make up some tempo on this here Murktide Regent, a petty theft would be insane. I guess my window to draw it here is pretty short. Violent Outburst. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna hope they don't have Lightning Bolt. It's not the best in this matchup. Maybe they board it down. But yeah, the Lightning Bolts don't answer. The Rhinos is the thing, and they're only good at going for the opponent's head. And they only have 2 cards in hand, so let's just hope one of them's not Lightning Bolt. Okay, they're gonna play a Daze here. Are they gonna try to double Daze me? Is that the plan? Nope, it's just the old play Daze for no reason. Yeah, I do see some from time to time, rather inexplicably. But yeah, their last card could still easily be Lightning Bolt, and we will be donezo. I see. It looks like it's another Murktide Regent. So the Daze play makes some kind of sense there. Well, go to 1. So I mean, petty theft would still be a good draw. Nope. mean, I guess I'll play this Lorien Revealed. I don't think there's like a combination of cards that we can draw that can stop what's about to happen. Yeah, another endurance. We could have played an endurance, and I guess I should have attacked. They could have maybe blocked. But I don't know why they would. But I suppose if they had blocked one of the rhinos, we could have stalled for a turn with endurance. So I guess maybe I didn't play to my outs as well as I could have. All right, so it is just the Temur Delver. I think I'm a little more interested in Blood Moon here. I mean, that's an easy way to cheese a game for the low cost of 3 mana. I mean, maybe, I don't know, Fury is like very good against a Dragon's Rage Channeler. No, Delver kind of start. Yeah, I mean, I think I have to keep this here hand. All right, so hopefully we can just jam endurances here. But yeah, we play this Woodian Pass. Delta. Wasteland. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Wasteland here. Yeah, that is one that they can Wasteland if they want. And doesn't get me off my double green to play Endurance here. And there's a Delver. Shardless Agent. Alright, I guess I'm gonna see. Like, if they don't have Wasteland and I can start playing stuff around Daze, that's good. Otherwise, I can just start jamming. So that's not a Wasteland. Counterbound. That's a potential, be a good one. All right, another land. Not terrible for me. But just want to go for it here and see if they've got it. By it, I mean a card that costs 0 on top of their library. Counter my rhinos with. Force of Will is the card on top. Brainstorm is the card on top. All right, good job. We're in there. Yeah, they don't play many 3s in their deck. I mean, probably some copies of Force of Negation. They're just gonna hard cast Questing Druid here, huh? And juice it with a Brainstorm. All right, I'm gonna fetch to thin here. Get my trop. Petty Theft. That's potentially a good one. So yeah, let's just attack here. If they want to block Shardless Agent. Dismember my rhino. Okay. Okay, let's play this Endurance here and see what happens. I guess I'm giving them the opportunity to grow the Questing Druid, but it really doesn't matter because they're not blocking my Rhino. We'll shrink their graveyard. Okay. And then, I mean, I could Petty Theft this Questing Druid right now. It can be dazed is the thing. I think I'm just gonna try it and see if they have daze. Okay. So replaying this Questing Druid. Playing Brainstorm. They want to surgical my Crashing Footfalls here. So I could use the Endurance. I don't think it's worth pitch casting the Endurance here. I'd rather just have the Endurance. I'll just have nothing. Otherwise, you know, the Endurance doesn't stick around if you poke it. Okay. Okay, a land is potentially not bad. So we kind of just need to fade a 3 on top of their library is what we need. I guess I'll attack. This is likely to flush out like a Brainstorm or something. Pyroblast. Okay. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna play Endurance here and hope they don't have a 3 on top. Alright, they chose not to use Counterbalance, so that's pretty encouraging. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna take this opportunity to play this Brazen Borrower. If it gets dazed, then, you know, I guess so be it. They didn't have daze last time. They don't have daze this time either. Okay. Got one card in hand here. It looks like it's a Seek the Beast. Okay. I think they hit Brainstorm and Wasteland. Maybe they hit Daze and Murktide Regent. That must be what it is. I don't know why they have to make it so unintuitive. But okay, we did in fact get there against the Temur Delver. Alright, we're playing for 4-1 here. On the play. Well, I mean, Crashing Footfalls, suspend that turn 1. Use Ice or potentially Fire, slow my opponent down. I guess this hand, I'm gonna try to mulligan here. I guess this hand, I mean, if this was like a mulligan to 6, I'd keep it. But I mean, this hand is, I mean, we're counting on this Fire and Ice to do like a lot. My opponent has results for 2014. They've got a Tin Fins deck here, basically Reanimator, and they've got Burn back in 2014. I mean, they're probably not on Burn. But man, this hand, does this hand beat? You know, we're just hoping to draw well. I guess this hand is just pretty soft to a lot of things. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this hand's definitely better. All right, I didn't have to mulligan to, like 5, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to put back the Force of Negation. Then we have a turn 2 Rhinos. Force back up. All right, the opponent's keeping 7. I'll put back this Force of Negation. Play this Misty Rainforest and pass. Scalding Tarn and pass from the opponent. Okay. I mean, could it be another Rhinos mirror match? I'm hoping they crack like their Scalding Tarn. They don't do it. Here's my chance. I'll get Tropical Island. Volcanic Island. Alright, here we go. It's Violent Outburst. Alright. Rhinos were second from the top. Violent Outburst seems to be in, or the Rhinos seem to be in. But what are we getting with this Scalding Tarn? Volcanic Island. Brainstorm. Okay. Well, if it's Delver, once the Rhinos are in play, we're usually in pretty good shape. Bobble. So yeah, I would say it is in fact a Delver. And it looks like they missed on their land. Okay. So we can just sit behind double force here. A Vapor Snag. Well, I'm gonna force. I guess I'll just pitch the Lorien Revealed. Looks like we're gonna have ourselves a good old-fashioned Force of Will off here. Okay, so we'll have them at 2. Alright, there's a concession. So I'm pretty sure only the Temur builds are playing the Vapor Snags or the bounce type effects. So I would expect we're up against Temur Delver as opposed to Grixis. And I think I mean, Blood Moon is an awfully easy way to cheat. On the draw, especially. Probably easier than trying to get them with Hullbreacher on the draw. So I guess I'll give this a shot. We have a kind of a funny hand here. We're 1 blue card away from Violent Outbursting on turn 1. Also, like, any land is like a pretty good draw. We're hoping for blue card our land here if we decide to keep this. I guess it's probably too risky and we just have to mulligan. I mean, there are a bunch of blue cards and lands in the deck. That is a vast majority of cards in the deck. If we hit like a Spirit Guide, that's okay too. So the only real bricks here are like Blood Moon and another Crashing Footfalls. Do I want to try it? Just slam this Violent Outburst. I mean, it's pretty all in. I think I'm just gonna mulligan. and just try to play like a normal game of Magic. Probably we're not trying to Wasteland on the draw. I mean, I think I'm happy with this. All right, well, it looks like it is, in fact, Grixis. I don't think you can play Bloodstained Mire in 4-color. Delver, I think you'd have to be on Fluted Deltas and Scalding Tarns to get the mixture of Badlands, Underground Sea, Tropical Island, Volcanic. I mean, Bloodstained Mire pretty much precludes the possibility of having Tropical Island in your deck. Okay. Fury is a potentially okay draw. So we kind of have to worry about Murktide or I'm gonna get the basic forest. Grab the basic island. What I'd really like to do is wait one more turn and play this Endurance around Days. Brainstorm on the end step, okay? This kind of means I should probably just pitch cast the Endurance. Yeah, I mean, they're really in prime Murktide territory. Alright, I guess I'm gonna do it. I always regret it when I don't. They have Murktide every time, as we learned in the previous match. Alright, the Endurance is in. Graveyard is shrunk. Endurance happens. It's funny they're playing Bloodstained Mire and Basic Island in their deck. I don't know what's going on there, but that doesn't seem right. Alright, they're just gonna Misty and pass. It's good that they don't have more cantrips immediately to fill their graveyard with. Play out the Woody. Alright, here's a Bobble. That's some kind of cantrip. Crack and see my top card. I'm gonna be comfortable just playing some Drago here. Nice. So I think I probably am gonna ice something on their upkeep. Lightning Bolt. So that kind of implies that Murky Reach is coming. I guess I want to draw a card. Another Lightning Bolt. Okay. Yeah, I would say the Murky Reach. Right, well, we have Force of Will for Murky Reach. So there, that's a thing. They're gonna go for it right here. I guess they must be playing some basic mountains in their deck. They're playing Basic Island, and they're playing the Bloodstained Mire. I think that's the only thing that could possibly make sense. Speak of the devil. So I guess it's like blue-red burn, probably. The Spirit Guide. Well, I don't really want to tap out for this Lorien Revealed here. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. That's gonna happen. So I guess I need to fire the Snapcaster me. Spelldancer. Okay. So that's what we're up to. They want a surgical my Misty Rainforest. Yeah, I guess you can have that. Kind of does nothing. So we'll get to play the Fury. But yeah, basically when you play non-creature spell, you put oil counters on it. Then when it deals combat damage from a player, you can remove 2 oil counters. Then you can copy the next instant sorcery that you play. So it is a convoluted way to kind of copy your spells and get some card advantage. Okay, well we just drew fire in it. So I just want to fire this thing instead of playing Fury. There are 4 cards in hand. I guess I'm just gonna play the Fury here. It would be nice to have like a clock in play to be trying to kill my opponent with. If this doesn't work, it is a little sad. But I mean, I've got Daze and Force Protection here. All right, so they dazed, and now they're forced. So they've got 1 more card in their hand. So I guess I'm gonna force pitching the ice here, so I can play Lorien Revealed on my turn. Wow, they have Spell Pierce. Well, okay, at least they're out of cards, but I guess I wish I had the Fire and Ice. Rather than the Lorien Revealed. I guess I got greedy there. So, do they have a good spell to copy with this Mercurial Spelldancer? Good question. Looks like they do because they did remove the oil counters. The Ponder, that's a pretty good one. All right, they've up and drawn some cards. Here's their Dragon's Rage. Maybe I'll rip another Fury. Violent Outburst. Well, play the Lorien Revealed and hope to find Fury and nuke their board. I mean, playing Violent Outburst is probably not quick enough to kill them. So I guess I'm doing this. Found Fury. Can't believe it worked. Definitely gonna try this. Wow, I can't believe it worked. Okay. Okay. Well, sometimes you hit the draws with the Rhinos, and sometimes you don't. That time we did. Rainstorm and a Dragon's Rage. Well, we're not out of the woods yet. That is sure. Wasteland. So we're like dead to a lightning bolt here. I mean, it's pretty unlikely that Lorien Revealed can find both Fury and the red card. I guess I'm gonna play Shardless Agent and hope they don't have lightning bolt. So we're gonna go down to 3 here. And I'd say they have lightning bolt. Okay. All right, well, now that I know what they're on, we're definitely off Blood Moon. I mean, Brotherhood's End seems like it has a lot of text against them. I mean, they're just against all these creatures. But I mean, Hullbreacher is pretty good on the play. They kind of need Brazen Borrower. We haven't seen Murktide yet, but petty thefting Murktide Regent seems important. I mean, Brotherhood's End does seem clunky to cast, but I mean, so is Fury. We managed to do some good work with Fury in that game. All right, I guess I'm just gonna run the Hullbreacher. Okay. Well, it's a turn 1. I guess I'm all in on it. Okay. No whammies? Okay, the Rhinos are in, so that's a promising start. This is a position where Wasteland is very good. Surgical extraction on the Rhinos. That's fine. I guess if they have like Vapor Snag here, I mean, that's certainly a good one. Ponder though. Okay, so we get to Wasteland them and attack for 8 here. Fury is potentially an okay one. All right. So we just gotta try to maybe fade Vapor Snag here for another turn. Did choose to shuffle off that last Ponder. Basic Island. Okay. Faded the Vapor Snag. I guess I'm just gonna get in here with this Shardless Agent. It's not gonna hit any rhinos, but it does attack for 2, and every threat kills my opponent from here. Shardless is in. Okay. So we got the old 4-1 result. Yeah, we beat Poison, lost to the Mirror, beat Jeskai Control, the miraculous resolving Minsc and Boo, and then we beat some tempo decks, which can be challenging, and glad to have beaten both of them. Okay. So looking back at our boys list from the Eternal Weekend, I mean, Wasteland seemed okay here. And I guess, I mean, if you're going to be playing against Delver every round, I mean, some Mystical Disputes, they certainly would have been good in this league. And I mean, we got the Rhinos player good with the Hullbreacher, but I guess that's pretty much it. But I mean, just when I play the deck, I just want to be jamming bombs. And having another bomb is great because I hate having to mulligan hands because they don't have any act. So it's worth noting we ran the 7 Spirit Guides here instead of the 8. I don't think I really missed the 8th. We were on the basic mountain, which I think I don't hate. I mean, 2 Wastelands is probably an okay amount. Like, I think maybe a 3rd Wasteland would be cool. Hang on. Okay, well, I messed with the numbers a bit, and here's what I cooked up. So, you know, from Eternal Weekend list, well, just if we're going to be playing against Murktide Region a bunch in tempo, I guess Mystical Dispute makes sense. I mean, I'd like more bombs in the main deck, but I guess something like this is what you want to do. But this guy has like a Hullbreacher in the sideboard. I mean, I just do want Blood Moons. as a way to, you know, try to cheese certain matchups, especially like 4-color control. I do want Brotherhood's End. I mean, I just want a good way to answer a slew of Saga tokens. Blood Moon helps with that. And then we're loaded up on the Mystical Disputes here, and we'll just have to make do without the Hullbreacher. But I don't know, maybe this guy's list is correct. But 2 Wasteland seemed like a good number. I was happy with that. I mean, maybe trim the Scalding Tarn for the 3rd Wasteland. And I think that 4 Lorien Revealed ends up being a lot also. It's just pretty rare you cast it for its draw 3 mode. And so a lot of the time, you know, just Scalding Tarn would be better. But the ability to pitch it to Force of Will is nice. But I mean, I think 3 is a good number there. And then, so like 2 or 3 Wastelands. Like maybe we don't play the basic mountain and we play Wasteland number 3. I mean, 4 Wastelands. I mean, you do need to get to 4 mana to play Minsc and Boo or to play Shardless Agent around days. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. So hopefully we'll be back with Rhinos in the future. It is a crazy deck to play. A lot of crossing your fingers and praying for good draws. But all right, thanks for watching. All right, we'll see you next time.